Where's the farm ground?
Same old. Going that
Brian, I was bass fishing last night down the street. I'm not going to give you my exact location.
Really?
But the guy next to me caught a fish so big last night that I actually climbed down the bulkhead and reached out and brought it for him and put it onto the dock.
Really?
Yes.
How big was it?
It was probably a solid 35-pound fish.
How many inches would you guess?
It was probably 40. It was probably
so it wasn't
the size of my leg all the way down. I'm like, nice. And I actually climbed down and
Are you using shad right now? Or
he used a white shad.
I love white shad. So that.
Yep. Big bass, yep.
Wow.
That shall be tonight after this council meeting. In a super secret location.
You're going to be going tonight?
No pictures. We did not take pictures. Because it shows your location automatically when you send a picture. I know that. About a picture.
Might kick it off.
I'm not out there.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out to tonight's council meeting. We can start off with a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is now called to order. In line with the Borough Seabright's long-standing policy of open government and in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, I wish to advise you that adequate notice of this regularly scheduled meeting was sent to the Asbury Park Press and other local newspapers on January 10th, 2023. In each instance, the date, time, and location of this meeting were provided in the notice. This meeting is open to the public. Roll call. Council members Bieber. Here. Booker. Here. Catalano. Gorman.
Here.
Killer. Lamia. Here. And Mayor Post here. All right, we mentioned at the last meeting, but it's going to start with a moment of silence for Joan Largy, who's was a long-time member of Seabright, and everybody knows her husband Tom, so we just like to have a moment of silence. Thank you, everybody. All right, we'll start off with remarks from the audience. If there's anybody here in the audience besides Murphy, I'm not going to online. Anyone like to be heard, just please state your name and your address, and the floor is yours. Anybody online like to be heard? All right. So I guess we'll go on to our consent agenda. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve this consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, council members Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Killer,
Yes.
and Lamia.
Yes.
All right, the consent agenda is approved. On to the legal action in your business, vouchers in the amount of $317,686.87. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve this voucher list?
Second.
All right, council members Bieber,
Yes.
Booker,
Yes.
Gorman,
Yes.
Keeler, and Lamia. All right, the voucher list has been approved. We've already moved on to mayor and council comments. Just want to thank everyone, Don Klein, the Recreation Committee, and his family, everyone who helped out with the successful Easter egg hunt this past Sunday. We actually had a bird's eye view up here. And it was a windy day, but it was very successful. It looks like they had a blast. I just want to thank everyone involved with that. We also had to, around the same time we overlapped, it was interesting, we had a meeting, a post-Sandy meeting here with Joe Bruno's here, Frank Lawrence, Ian Long was here, our former mayor, and myself, and Steve, who helped us out quite a bit afterwards. Steve Nelson was here, and they had over 30 planners from throughout the country. I think some internationally. We're just here, just trying to learn about lessons learned from a disaster like Sandy. So it was nice. We did a little Q&A for an hour or so, and walked downtown. Some of the changes we made and everything. So hopefully it was helpful for them. They had some pretty good questions, but just give us as much feedback as you could. So it was nice. Excuse me. Beach season is coming up, so I know everyone's getting ready for that. I'm looking forward to a very successful year and status quo regionalization with schools. We're waiting for hopefully successful bilateral mediation between our two partners, Highlands and Atlantic Highlands, and hopefully they can reach something that's workable. Aside from that, anybody else have any updates for us from their committees?
Mayor, I have a couple. There were two areas that you and the council asked us to look at. The first had to do with public space ordinance enforcement, specifically around smoking, alcohol, and dogs on the beach. We said as we're getting ready for the summer season, we wanted to make sure we were on the same page with regard to enforcement on that. We had a couple meetings. The team included administration, police. We had beach there also, and a couple council members. We held two meetings, and we have a number of recommendations we'd like to make, and we'd like to go through them in a bit more detail coming up in the next workshop. The second thing you asked us to look at was resident parking challenges in town, specifically in the downtown area and in North Beach. So we held a number of meetings this time with administration, police, and council members. Heather and I counted every house, every parking spot in town, so we got a good feel around that. Worked closely with Brett and the team.
With ICO.
What's that?
With ICO.
Okay. Obviously a challenge, but we've got some recommendations. I think we've got a couple ideas on how we could add some additional spots, take advantage of the space that we do have, and we'd like to bring them forward again at the workshop. It'll give us a chance to go through it in a little more detail, and I would like to mention it a little bit maybe on social media, because I know there's some people who are interested in this. Maybe they can attend and participate as well. Heather and I talked to a couple residents in town that deal with this, including herself, as well as a number of other folks that are interested in any thoughts that we have. So we'll cover both of those at the next workshop. Thanks, Mayor.
Sounds good. Thank you. You guys, Jay?
It's not necessarily my area, but I'll address it. Since it's not here, but and I'll actually ask Chief Murphy to address it as well. At the end of Osborne, on the river there, a couple nights ago, a dolphin that had to be recovered from the river, and obviously we're all seeing the news. We're all seeing multiple animals beaching themselves or turning up, and having to be extracted, and we've seen a lot of that. Whether or not this is part of that, I don't know, but there will be a press conference tomorrow. I think at 11. I forget, but you guys have the information for those who can make it. I cannot make it. The county is having a press event. Record are known. Elected officials will be talking about this phenomenon that we're experiencing, and there's a good level of concern about it, up and down various levels of government, and we, as a governing body, we're invited to participate and go and be a part of that if we chose to. I cannot. I'm the mayor, you can't make it either, but for those who can, it's good to have some CBREC representation there. But that information was provided by Chris, and I mentioned it also as well. So it's something to be aware of, and if we can participate and hear and learn and support other elected officials in this, that'd be great. So again, Sam's not here to be able to address it, but obviously everyone's aware, so I'll mention that. I forget the time. 11 a.m.
It's 7 presidents.
Yeah, 7 presidents.
And they said there'll be people there directing you where to go.
I got 2 calls from the press today about that, and I said I was traveling, I couldn't go, but they asked what we were doing at the time. I said, well, so we personally are, but I said it's worth investigating, because they said, what's your take on it? I said, it's above our license. I said, I don't believe in coincidences. So I said it's there's been a lot of marine deaths this year, between the whales and the dolphins. And I said, well, I know. So I spoke to somebody who's a proponent who's saying it's just a natural thing with the boats, and I said, well, the one thing is, he said, well, I don't know, or boat strikes. Yeah, but theoretically, couldn't that be caused by them being disoriented? If it is coming from a sonar or something, could that cause them to go off track and then get hit? But so I said, I don't have the answer. I said, I know they're doing autopsies on everyone they find. But I said, it's been such an anomaly this year, as many deaths of it. So.
Chief, Chad, can you, maybe for those who didn't get, happened to be next door to my house, I was able to get a little more information than others probably got. But you want to give a minute or two on what happened and what you saw?
The incident was actually reported to the police. 3 little girls, I believe they were residents of the community, climbing on the dock. So the dolphin was actually floating down the river, so we had to send a boat out to retrieve it. Made contact with Marine Mammal. They said they were interested in it, so we tried to tie it off to one of the floating docks at Cove Sail. They came out the following day. I don't know if you spoke with them. You probably speak better. I did know they came the next day. They were sending us messages on the computer. So my understanding was it was too decomposed at that point that they weren't able to obtain anything valuable information-wise from it. And then I believe the guy I spoke with at Marine Mammal said that they were going to make arrangements with DP for removal, so they didn't have to put it on the town. They originally were looking for assistance from the town to remove it. Told them no on that, and then they were going to try to put it on the marine owner, and then they made final arrangements with DEP to remove it. So, and that's right.
Thank you.
But from what he told me was, from his understanding from the representative from the marine mammal that came out, was that the dolphin was deceased for a couple months.
Because weren't there like two that had already passed away up in the bay?
I think they were found
Like a
towards
month?
Sandy Hook, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But wasn't it, yeah,
I think it was more, there was a couple.
a couple or three, 2 or 3, that was a month ago, so. Could be.
Yeah, it was a while, according to a couple months.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Chief. Anybody else?
Well, we spoke about that Easter egg, and then we just briefed in Zumu, our website developer, and she has a brief for optimizing the site, and she gave us a bid of $1,000. So we'll wait to gather any more feedback from her, and then we can get started.
I have a few things.
All right.
So you said thanks to Public Works getting the beach ready for the Easter egg hunt. Public Works and Councilman Bieber are helping me with the rec center, so that's coming along pretty good. We did the soffit north and south, and took down the overhang, got the new railing, just ready to finalize with the painter when he can come back, because he went away so we could get that soffit done. I'm working with Frank and Sandy Norman for the plantings in Plantings out on Ocean Avenue. They'll be back to me. Beautification is looking at how we might manage those bump outs. Public Works is finalizing the check valve repairs. I'm working with JCP&L. 28 streetlights that they needed attention. That storm the other day just ran them out to the west. Right? So everybody in the west got hit pretty hard. I think it skirted us pretty much. It was below us and west. And we have a manhole to repair, which I think might give us the okay up at 816 Ocean Avenue. So there's going to be some work on Ocean Avenue coming up.
Excuse me, what was that, what address?
816 is where McCoon's is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've been working, the guys have been working on trying to move the sand from the wall on both sides. So I've been out there trying to help them as well. We need a strategy in the future because it's mega sand, right? But they promised me to get it. And I think we finalized the recycling coordinator, so this year we'll be able to participate in the recycling. So that's good. And I've got a couple things from the neighborhood. I want to thank Karen, Tom, and Ed for looking after some construction site cleanups. We had a lot of storms and all. And they went out there and talked to the owners, and they did manage it. So that was good cooperative effort between the owners and the town people. And pretty much that's it. We do have a bulkhead that we own in the North Beach that Rob was called up to look at, and he'll get us a final report of what we'd like to do there.
Question as you mentioned it, because I've heard this a couple of times. What's the protocol when there's an active construction site, like a house built, and debris is not managed by the construction team? Like who is?
That's a code enforcement?
Our code enforcement guys are supposed to have their eye on it. On this one, I got some calls from residents, and then I talked to Karen, and then she took care of it right away. I mean, it was really good. As a matter of fact, Mr. Finnegan called me about the front street. He couldn't believe he mentioned it one day, and it was taken care of the next day. So I'm going to get a smile out of him this year.
I know him for a long time, I tried.
Yeah, so anyway, I didn't even report it, right?
But who's the like? Do we have, from a code enforcement standpoint, is someone going out and looking at active, like proactive?
When we get a complaint, usually we call the property owners and Tom Hague. It's usually taken care of. There's really never really a problem. There's a few places we've had issues with, but most we're on it pretty quickly.
Okay, so we can just get back to people. I'll get back to people and just say inform.
Yeah.
Take care of you.
Call them here,
Yeah.
and the building department will get it taken care of. I was amazed. It was the next day. We're out there, and went to one, and Tom went to the other one. And
Great.
the owners were very easy to, hey, yeah, take care of that. And so,
We clearly have a unique challenge here with the wind. Because when you have a construction site, stuff is blowing all over the place.
Yeah.
It's hard to hold it down.
Very, especially this season. It's outrageous.
Thanks, John. Yeah, it's like a nice little Borough Hall, some long nice. Jack, you got anything? Status quo.
Just, as I mentioned earlier, I have an appointment with the superintendent at Sandy Hook tomorrow. And talk about two things. Is interesting participating with us in a conversation with DOT on improving the safety on the bridge, and also the possibility of using one of their storage facilities that are now, they use them for storage, but they're half empty and all that. We'll see if we can work out an agreement. And he was very open to the ideas. We'll see if we'll get it. I'll give you a quick, I think hopefully John will be able to walk with me. I believe Joe has tried on a couple of occasions to have an answer from DOT. Are they going to come up here and participate in the discussion about safety on the highway? But he told me that yesterday, so he still hasn't heard.
it's all over the government pages of how important it is to us all. You need to be able to capture that and say, okay, here's the ingredients, we want to participate.
Any ideas? I don't have the letter ready to give them.
I'm going to print it out for you and I'll share them with you tomorrow.
And I talked to Larry on this before. The letter, if they don't respond, we're sending a letter. The first letter should be pleasant and cordial, and the second letter we could get the attorney to sign off on it. And we'll say, hey, we brought this up 4 or 5 times. We think it's a very serious situation, and so far you haven't even come up here and discussed it with us.
On the pedestrian crossing solution, it sounds like we're on the right trajectory right now. In that the 2 of them by the beach club are going to get taken care of this year in an expedited way.
Right.
And the other 5 are going to go down the path that they presented to us, which will be a multi-year process. But as far as we know, everything's in place that we need to do in order to continue moving that forward. Is that correct, Jack?
On crosswalks, yes.
Okay.
But at the foot of the Highlands Bridge, there are other issues.
Right.
And
I agree with the point that if we can get them down here and make them aware and have them personally see the challenge at the bottom of the bridge, maybe somehow as part of the 7 pedestrian crossing initiative, we can somehow get another one in there at that point up there, because it would be critically important to be able to do that.
in the background on this, I just want to have it, if they don't respond, I want to have it officially on record that we notified them, alerted them. Of course, I believe there's going to be a very serious accident there. In fact, I was talking to Chad, was it over the weekend, they had a side swipe on the Highlands, more or less on the Highlands side of the bridge. There still is an example of how easily something very dangerous can happen.
Yeah, we want to make sure.
Mayor,
Go ahead, John.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Councilman Bieber said that we have to do anything. They did recommend we pass a resolution supportive of the project. So we still should do that. We can talk about it at next week's workshop.
Okay,
Thank you, Joe.
thank you.
All right, thanks, Jack. All right, and that wraps up the meeting. No executive session tonight, so thanks for coming out, everybody. Short but sweet meeting. Thanks for participating. Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Second.
All right, Councilor Bieber?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Warren?
Yes.
Keeler?
Yes.
And Lonnie.